Hello, everyone, and welcome to Hello Word, the podcast that helps you expand your English vocabulary. I'm your host, Alex, and I'm thrilled to have you with me today. Our word for today is director. So, what exactly does director mean? Well, at its simplest, a director is the leader of a group or a project. Think of it as the person in charge, the one who guides and oversees everything. You'll often hear this word in the context of films, but it's used much more broadly than that. A director is responsible for making sure things run smoothly, making important decisions, and leading their team to success. For example, in a company, you might have a director of marketing or a director of human resources. These people are responsible for leading their respective departments. Now, let's explore some words that have similar meanings to director, also known as synonyms. One synonym for director is manager. A manager is someone who is responsible for controlling or organizing a group of employees or activities. For example, the manager of the restaurant ensured all the customers were happy. Another synonym is leader. A leader is a person who guides or directs a group. For example, she is a strong leader and inspires her team. Another similar word is supervisor. A supervisor oversees a person or activity to ensure things are done correctly. For example, the supervisor checked all the reports before they were submitted. Another synonym for director is head. The head of a department is the person in charge of it. For example, he is the head of the accounting department. Finally, another word we can use is chief. The chief is the person who is the head of an organization or department. For example, she is the chief executive officer of the company. Now, let's look at some antonyms, or words with opposite meanings, to director. One antonym for director is follower. A follower is someone who is being led, not leading. For example, he is a loyal follower of the political party. Another antonym is employee. An employee is someone who works for a company or organization, often under the direction of a director. For example, the employee followed the director's instructions carefully. Another opposite term would be subordinate. A subordinate is someone lower in rank or position, often reporting to a director. For example, the subordinate always completed their tasks on time. Another word that means the opposite of director is member. A member is part of a group, but not necessarily in charge. For example, she is an active member of the book club. One more antonym is trainee. A trainee is someone who is learning and being supervised, the opposite of giving direction. For example, the trainee was learning from the experienced director. So, how can you use the word director in everyday life? Well, you might say, the school director announced a holiday today. Or, the director of the play gave us our roles. You could also say, she applied for the position of director at the museum. You can also use it in phrases. For example, he is the director in charge of the project. Or, the director gave a briefing at 10 a.m. Here are some more example sentences to help you understand how to use director. The film director won an award for his latest movie. The director of the charity is responsible for raising funds. She wants to become a director of a large corporation. The director explained the new strategy to the team. The project director ensured that everything was completed on schedule. He consulted the director before making any major decisions. The company needs a new director of communications. The board appointed a new director at the last meeting. As a director, she has a lot of responsibility. The director's vision helped the company succeed. Okay, let's recap what we've learned today. We learned that a director is the leader of a group or project. We explored synonyms like manager, leader, supervisor, head, and chief. We also looked at antonyms such as follower, employee, subordinate, member, and trainee. We also saw how director is used in everyday conversation and different phrases. Thank you for joining me on Hello Word today. I hope you found this episode helpful. Now, before you go, I have a small favor to ask. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe to the podcast and leave a review. Your support helps others discover the show and improve their English vocabulary. Finally, I encourage you to create your own sentence using the word director and share it as a comment below the video. I can't wait to see what you come up with. See you next time on Hello Word.